I'm here because I want to protest Elon Musk, because he's supporting authoritarianism, disinformation and climate change around the world. I'm one of the organisers. This is jointly organised with Campaign for Ukraine and the Ukraine Solidarity Campaign. I'm with Tesla Takedown UK.
So I'm Christopher Ford from the Ukraine Solidarity Campaign in the UK. So we're protesting here today at Musk's company in order to raise awareness and try and put pressure on this the government in America, or we could call it the coup government of Musk-Trump. Why are we doing it? Because this government has been involved in direct assistance to Vladimir Putin's regime in their war on Ukraine. As we know, following the desecration of diplomacy in the Oval Office and the humiliation of President Zelensky, Musk cut off aid to Ukraine. And this was part of the decision of the government he's in.
Okay, there's a limited understanding of the details of how the US government works. And if I start talking about how he's defying the separation of powers or he's taking the power of the purse away from Congress, A, that's not really my problem in the UK yet, although parties that he supports would try and do the exact same thing in the UK. But B, it's something that's really hard for the vast majority of English people to get their heads around, so it's not something we really talk about here. And I think that's why it's just too... If you ask British people how the British government works, a lot of us don't fully understand like what the King's role is in everything. So for them to expect to understand what the powers of presidents should be is a really big lift.
The cutting off of aid involved two things. One was the military aid, and also they cut off intelligence sharing, which was satellite intelligence that also helped alert the population to Russian air raids. And the consequence of this was the death of hundreds of people, including people we assisted in Donbass who are rescue workers, when they didn't get air alerts when the Russians were bombing them. So that is one thing they've done directly that has resulted in them having blood on their hands. But the other aspect is the overarching approach of the Musk-Trump government. They're attacking democracy in their own country, and they're supporting the invasion in Ukraine by their conduct. They're attempting to bring about a partition of Ukraine and a dirty deal with the Putin regime. So it's very important that we stand against this. And this is part of a broader attack on democracy globally. There's an oligarchic regime in America now which is fascistic, and they're working hand in glove with a regime in Moscow which is equally fascistic. They have similar ideologies, and if they succeed, it's going to undermine the freedom and democracy across the globe. So it's really vital that we stand up now to oppose these people.
Well, first of all, I would never endorse physically attacking Teslas or Tesla drivers. And secondly, we've talked to a lot of Tesla drivers who'd love to get rid of their vehicles, who are embarrassed by them, but just can't afford to do it because the second-hand values are so low. So we have sympathy for people who buy Teslas, but who have bought Teslas in the past. But if you're buying a Tesla now, surely you know what you're supporting, surely you know what you're endorsing, surely you know what you're funding. But we would never, to be clear, we would never endorse any form of violence against Tesla drivers or vandalism of Teslas. Okay, so Elon Musk has supported Donald Trump, he supported Tommy Robinson, he supported Germany's AfD. Wherever possible, he supports the furthest right available party. And he's driving climate change around the world as well as fascism. Say stop getting your information from X and Grok, because if you look at neutral fact-check sources, you'll find that everything I've said so far is true.
Thank you very much.